Hello everyone, I am Rashmi and in this session we are going to talk about digital documentation. For digital documentation, the software that we have picked up today is OpenOffice Writer, and the objectives of this session are going to be create documents using OpenOffice Writer, save, print and close a document, apply various editing and formatting features, use the find and replace feature, insert headers and footer in this document, and then we will see how to create and work with tables. So, first of all, let us try to understand what is a word processor. Why? Because OpenOffice is a word processor. It is just processor which we use to write some text, create documents. We can use different features like insert tables, images, all these things. So, this is just a word processor. Word processor is an application software that is used for creating, editing, formatting and printing any type of textual data. This textual data is created using a word processor. This data is actually called a document. Whatever text we write within that particular document, that data is finally known as a document. The process of using a word processor is called word processing. A document may consist of text, images, drawings and tables, etc. So, all these things we can insert in a document which we can create using the OpenOffice. We can use text, we can insert images, we can insert drawings, we can insert different types of tables. So, let us see first of all how do we start an OpenOffice program to initiate the process and to start writing the text within that particular document. We can simply go to the start button of the computer system, then we click on the all programs, then we will find openoffice.org wherein all the packages available within the OpenOffice are available, and then within that we click on OpenOffice Writer. This way we can simply open the software. Now, once we have opened this program, there are different options we see within this particular window, the new window which is opened in front of us on our computer system. On left, right, top, bottom, there are so many options available which we can use to insert the type of content that we want to. We will talk about all of these available options within the window. We have the title bar which is on the top of the screen. We have the menu bar which is just below the title bar, and within that all the options are available to insert different type of contents, to format that and all those things. Within that we have the formatting toolbar as well. Then we have the status bar, we have the scroll bars, we have rulers, we have docking toolbars. So, these are the options, those are available when we open a new window, whether we have started it from the scratch, a new blank program is opened, or an existing file is opened. These options are going to be there all the time. So, with the help of these options, like for the menu bar, we insert the different kind of font which we want to use. We can apply styling, we can apply underline, bold, all these things from the formatting toolbar. In the status bar, we are able to see how many pages we have created so far, how much characters and letters we have written in the document so far. So, status bar is just like the status that of the particular document. We can see from the status what all we have done till now. Scroll bars are used when the document reaches a particular length which is not readily fitted into a particular window which is opened in front of us. We have a limited size of our computer screens, and when the text exceeds that size, if we have written a very small, very few lines of text, then those will be appearing on the visible screen itself. But when the text reaches beyond that limit, we are not able to see the complete text or images or table, whatever we have inserted within one single frame, then the scroll bars come in picture. We scroll up and down, left and right to look at the rest of the text which is not available in a particular frame on the screen. Then rulers are there for us to adjust the margins, the spacing between lines above and below the paragraph and between the paragraph as well. So for that we can use rulers, we can hide or view rulers as per our convenience. So all these components are available, as I told you, within the screen, within the window of OpenOffice, whether we are starting from a new document, if we are starting from scratch, or if we have saved a document previously and we are trying to open it again, then also all these options will be available, because these are in the default view of the OpenOffice window. So all these are there always. Now the operations that we do using the OpenOffice program, we can create a new document just like any other program. When we have to start a particular program and we have to write our first document, we can simply open a blank document and we can start writing into that. Then we can save the document. Saving the documents is also similar to how we save in other programs. It is either we can just use the shortcut key, which is Ctrl+S, or we can go to the file option and click on save to save the document, or if it is the first time that we are saving this document, we can click on save as well. Then closing the OpenOffice writer. Once we are done with writing whatever we are going to write in this document, and whatever pictures we wanted to insert, whatever text we were going to write, or the tables whatever we want to insert, if all those things we are done with those, then we can simply close this document. In order to save it before closing, either we have to follow the shortcut method, or when we close it directly without saving, then also we get a pop-up on the screen that asks us, this is a confirmation message, whether you want to save the document if we have made any changes. Suppose we have opened any existing document and we have not made any changes, and then we are trying to close this document again, then the document will be closed as is. But if we have made any changes, then only the software will ask us to save the changes if we want to, and then it will close the particular document. If we have saved an document, an existing document somewhere on our computer, and we are trying to open it, we can simply either go to the path where the document is saved and simply double click on that document, the file which is saved, or we can open the program first. So here we are talking about the OpenOffice program only. So we can open the OpenOffice program first, and then either in the recent documents we will find it, or we can click on open and then go to the directory, the folder where our document is stored, and then we can double click on the file icon that we want to open, and then once we double click, the existing document will be opened. So these are two different methods of opening an existing document. Then editing a document. Editing a document is more or less similar to that of creating the document, because the only difference is that there is already some text or content written within this particular document. If it is existing already, we have saved it previously, and now when we open it, we will have that previous text or content handy, that will be already available in the document, and then going forward we can add some more content, we can add tables, all these things. So then it would be editing the document. Now there are some shortcut keys that we can use if we are going to select some of the text from the within the document. For example, we have written 2-3 pages of content within this OpenOffice document, and we want to replace some of that, or we want to copy some of that text from the available text that we have already written in the document. So for that we will have to select the text first. Sometimes it could be just one line, it could be a complete paragraph, or it could be a complete document as well. So if we have to copy it, or if we have to move some text from first page to third page, from second page to first page, anywhere, then also we will have to select the text first. Or even if we want to delete some text that has been mistakenly written in the document, then also we will have to select the text first and then either cut it or delete it. So for all these operations, it is really required to select the text first. Whatever text we are going to edit, we need to select it first. So it will become easier for us if we are handy with the shortcuts available within the OpenOffice to select the text, so that for any kind of operation we can simply use these shortcuts and it will save us a lot of time. So for example, if we have to select one line, wherever the cursor is, place the cursor at the start position of that particular text that we want to select. So if it is the start of the line, then place the cursor at the start. If it is somewhere in the middle of the line, place the cursor at the middle, and then press the shift key along with the end key, and then the cursor will select the complete line till the end of that particular line. So wherever the cursor is, from that start position to the end position of the particular line, then we'll press shift plus end combined. Both these key, if we press simultaneously, this will select the line till the end of that particular line. However, if we want to select the line till the starting position of the line, even from the end or from the middle of the line somewhere. For example, we are somewhere in the middle of the paragraph, and for that particular line we want to select it from the beginning and we want to leave the rest of the line as is. So then we will press shift plus home. Pressing shift plus home will select the complete text from the cursor position to the beginning of the line. And then we if we have to we have to select the complete paragraph, not just one line but the complete paragraph from the cursor position to the end of the paragraph, not the start. Keep in mind, we have to place the cursor from where we want to start selecting the text, and then if we press Ctrl plus Shift plus down key, remember it is the down key. Why? Because we are planning to move to the end of the paragraph, we are planning to select the complete content which is till the end of the paragraph. Then we will have to press the down key along with the Ctrl and Shift key, and the complete text will be selected. In a similar manner, if we have to select the paragraph till the beginning of the paragraph from the cursor position, now again suppose our cursor is somewhere between the middle of the paragraph, and from this position we want to select the complete text till the beginning of the paragraph, then the same keys are used except for the up arrow key, which is used instead of the down arrow key previously that we used. So to move in the upward direction, to select the text in the upward direction from the start of the paragraph to the cursor position, we will use the up arrow key, and from the cursor position to the end of the paragraph we will be using the down arrow key. Now the next one is to select the complete text from the cursor position to the beginning of the document, wherever the beginning is. Now we can be, for this particular example we could be either on the second page, third page, or for example maybe on the 10th page. Wherever we are, wherever the cursor is, the cursor position could be anywhere, we can move it to the place till where we want to select the text, and then from there if we want to select everything from the beginning of the document, not the line, not the paragraph, the document, the complete document, then we will have to press the Ctrl, Shift and Home. All of these three keys have to be pressed in order to select the content. Now the operations of these keys, it does not mean that you have to click all these three keys simultaneously at the same time. You can press them one by one, but in this order only. Ctrl and Shift have to be pressed first before selecting the home, and then later on home or up arrow key or down arrow key could be pressed, but Ctrl and Shift have to be pressed first. Now if we keep on moving the up arrow key within the document, I told you that if you want to select the text from the starting of the paragraph, you can use the up arrow key along with Ctrl plus Shift, but you can keep on moving the up arrow key, you can keep on pressing it again and again if you want to move to the next available paragraph. Even the up arrow key and the down arrow key, these work that way that you can keep on pressing them to extend the selection. If you want to extend the selection on the top or the bottom, corresponding to the key that you have pressed, you can keep on pressing the key so that more and more text gets selected. And to select the complete document from A to Z, from first page to the last page, everything that you have written, all the images that you have inserted, all the tables that you have inserted, if you want to select them all at the same time, you can simply press Ctrl plus A. Ctrl plus A is the shortcut to select all. This way you can select the complete text that is written between this particular document. Now, formatting this document. Once you have entered everything that you wanted to write in this particular document, you have typed everything, you have written all the paragraphs, you have written the text in a raw format. When you started, you did not decide on the formatting that you want to apply, whether the different colors that you want to apply for the font, or the different font size, or anything, the margins, the alignment, you have not decided when you started writing the document, but later on you started formatting it. So, you will be having 3 different kinds of formattings available within the OpenOffice. Why I am saying 3 different kinds, it is not basically written somewhere that 3 types of formattings are available and you will have to choose any one of them. No, this is just the logical division of the formatting. Basically, these are character formatting, paragraph formatting and page formatting. Now, character formatting applies to the text basically, like if you want to change the color of particular text that you have written or the font size, that will be counted under character formatting. But you want to change the alignments of the text that you have written, for example, left margin, right margin of the paragraph, or the spacing between the paragraphs, then it will be called as paragraph formatting. And then if there is some styling that you want to apply to the complete page, like the page margins, top and bottom margin, left right margin, the width of the page, the size of the page, all these things come under page formatting. So, all these formatting options are available on the window that you see on your OpenOffice, and you can choose any of them that you want to apply. Then we have headers and footers. Header and footer, these are the texts, or these could be images also, that completely depends on what we want to insert. But the term, what does the term header means? What does the term footer means? Header is something that we just write once at the top of the page, as the name specifies, it is the header. So, we write something at the top of the page and we want this to be available on every page, either as is or in a sequential manner. Similarly, for the footer, either we want to appear some text as it is at the bottom of the page, just the difference is that the header is at the top of the page and the footer is at the bottom of the page. Now, if we want some text to appear at the bottom of the page as it is on each and every page of our document, or in a sequential manner, like 1 for the first page, 2 for the second page, just like the page numbers, so then we call it a footer. So, how do we insert header and footer? There are options. We can simply go to the insert option available in the format, and then we can select header or footer, and we can select the default if we are just trying to add it once, if we are just trying to see how the header footer is inserted, or we can choose the other options as well if we are familiar with it and we know what are we going to insert. So, once you click on insert and you go to this option, you will see that the cursor is now at the header or footer area, that is promptly visible, and the rest of the page, the middle of the page where the primary content has to be written, that is behind the header and footer, that is a little bit out of focus, and the cursor is now in the header and footer area for you to write in the header and footer whatever text you want to write, or you can simply insert an image also. For example, if you are creating a document for an organization and you want to insert the logo on every page, you can use it in the header and footer and it will appear on the every page. So, that is how this works. Next, we have spelling and grammar check. Just like any word processor, you might have worked with any editing software previously also, and you might have seen that the spelling and grammar check is available. I am talking about MS Word specially, wherein mostly all of you would be familiar with, and you see that the small icon with ABC that appears in the formatting section under the review column, and therein you can press it to see if you have made any mistake in the document. Either that could be a spelling mistake, that could be a grammatical mistake, capitalization, anything. So, if you are using, mostly in our word processors, they have a default language. So, basically it is set to English only, but you have to see in your programming software that whether it is set to UK English or US English. So, based on the language you have selected, if you are typing in Hindi also, then also the language, the corresponding to the font that you are using, either Devanagari or Mangal, any font that you are using corresponding to that, the complete dictionary is installed in our programs, and comparing to that dictionary, the software, the program gives us the mistakes highlighted in a manner that we can see that okay, this is something which needs a correction, which has to be corrected. So, that is how it works. In the document, when we click on the grammar check, the spelling and grammar check, it will highlight all the options and it will show us one by one each of the mistake that will be displayed on the screen one by one, and we can review them easily, starting from the first position to the last position, going to each of them one by one, and whether checking whether those need any correction or not, any one of them. Sometimes the software might highlight some mistake incorrectly also, because we can write names which the dictionary is not familiar with. So, then we can leave those words as is, and we can move to the next mistake that the software is showing, and then we can also add some of the words to the dictionary. If suppose we are using some words, those are to be frequently used in our document, but those are not readily available in the dictionary that the program is using. We can create a personal dictionary, we can create a custom dictionary in the software, and we can keep on adding words, and there is no limit to that. We can create as many as we want to, and then going forward the software will not show us that word as a mistake. That will be available for us in the dictionary, and that will be treated as a normal word, as a correct word going forward. Next is the graphics. In any writer, and same applies to OpenOffice as well, we can draw some objects, we can insert pictures, we can insert tables. We will move to the rest of the section later. We will talk about the tables also, but for the objects, either we can simply insert the pictures if we have those readily available in our system. If we want to download it also from anywhere, and then we can insert them from our system or from the internet, we can copy those pictures and we can simply insert it in the OpenOffice writer, or we can insert the links also. But we can at the same time also draw the objects within the software. So, for these objects, the basic shapes are available, arrows, lines, rectangles, squares, so many options are available, and symbols also if you want to draw. For example, we want to draw some flow charts within the document. So, we can do that as well using the objects and inserting them within our document, and all the flow charts in the manner that we want to create them will be easily created by using the different objects. Then we can also insert the tables. Now, table, as you know, is a form of data arranged in rows and columns. This is easy to read if we are especially when we have columns, like if we want to fill in some information, the name of the column, the name of the field and the corresponding value of that field, starting from left to right, or some numbers, when we have to add them, we have to do some calculation. So, then the tables are really useful. It is a form of a grid which is formed by rows and columns, and it will present the data in the form of rows and columns, And to do that, simply we can go to the insert option and we can select the table option. Clicking on table will give us an option to choose the number of rows and columns that we want to, and choosing that number, for example, if we have decided already we have decided that we want to insert 5 rows and 5 columns, we can simply choose that size, and we can change the size parallelly also while we are working on the table. At that time also we can always insert new columns, new rows while working on that. And once we choose the number of columns, the table will appear on the screen and it will show us the blank columns, blank fields, and we can simply start typing and writing within those columns and cells. And usually pressing the tab button within the table will move the cursor from the first cell to the next cell, and once a row is completed, then the tab button will move us to the next row, first column. So, this way it moves and we can keep on writing the text within the table. So, as I told you, tables are really important when we have to use some structured data in a particular format. Then we can use these tables in just like all other word processors. And after that, another very important option available in the word processors is track changes. Changes whatever we have made in this document while editing. When we were editing the document, for example, first version was created, we have written some 5-10 pages and the document is created. Then some other day we opened this document again and we made some changes. So, we were doing this for like 4-5 days and we kept on changing some of the text, paragraph, table, whatever changes we thought of making, we were doing that. And suddenly someday maybe on 3rd, 4th day you realize that what you had written on the 2nd day was better than what you have changed it to now. So, if you want to go back to the text that was written on the 2nd day, you cannot undo because you had already closed that document and you have now opened it again. So, the undo option is not really available. So, you want to go back and you have not saved a copy of this document previously. So, now the changes would be lost, but if you keep the track of this change, like what was it before and then what did you change it to and then again what did you change it to, then it will be easy for you to go back to the previous version, go back to the previous text that you had written previously. So, this you can do by going to the track changes option and you can select it. You can go to edit, click on edit, then you can click on changes and then click on record. When you start recording the changes, it will track all the changes that you are making in the document unless you set it to off again. You stop recording again. Until then, it will record all the changes that you have made within the document, and then you can anytime go back to any kind of previous version that was created. Whatever changes you have made, you can always click to the click on the previous version available to move to the previous version directly. You will not have to undo anything. You can simply select what version you want, what state you want it to go back to, and then that particular state will be written again in that particular document. And this will also be tracked that you have moved to this particular change. So, that is how you keep a track of your changes in the OpenOffice, and you can always move back to the previous state. Now, the last and important feature of OpenOffice is mail merge. Mail merge would help you to generate personalized letters, memos, labels, etc. This is required when we have to either send the mails directly from this document, we have to use some of the content of this document and send it to the users through mail, or when we are using some email software like Outlook. From there we want to attach some of the documents created in OpenOffice or MS Word or anything, or maybe Excel, some of the data from there. So, mail merge feature will allow us to choose the source of the data that we are planning to send to somebody. So, data source, the main components of mail merge features would be data source, main text document the merge document. Why? Because we are using the merge option to merge the content from the data to the emailing software. So that is why the text document will be already available with us, the complete document, and the merge document that we have created only to send that to the users, to the receivers whom we are planning to send this email to. So then this feature is used. We can either select some of the content from the tables that we have inserted, and we can also write the email IDs of the recipients within this document when we create it, when we merge it, in order to let the email software know whom we are planning to send this content to. So data source and the merge document will be the final output that the email software would be using, along with the main text document which will be available for us to choose the data out of that from. So these are basically all the features that are really useful when we work on an open office program and we create new documents or work on the existing documents also. I hope all these features are very clear to you, and beyond this, when you keep on trying, when you keep on working on these features on your own, you will learn a lot more. Thank you.